Hello, welcome to Charter Local Edition Northwest. I'm Dana Cowley. Today we're covering the Oregon Coast Economic Summit in Florence. My guest is State Senator Betsy Johnson. She's a Democrat from the 16th District, and we thank you for being here, Betsy.
Thank you so much for asking me. I appreciate the opportunity to talk with you.
Part of the summit is the Oregon Coastal Caucus, and that's very important to you.
It is. The Coastal Caucus is a very interesting creation of the Oregon legislature. We are 8 legislators, House and Senate, Democrat and Republican, and we represent the coast from the California-Oregon border to the Oregon-Washington border. We have in common our interest in coastal issues. And because we're different political philosophies and we really come from different locations, we operate on a consensus model. We bring different issues to the group. If we can decide that it's something that all of us can embrace, we fundamentally represent a 10th of the Oregon legislature and have developed in the last couple of biennia into a real powerhouse. We're responsible for some notable accomplishments, and I think when the Coastal Caucus speaks, people listen. Testimony to that is the fact that the Three Rivers Casino right now is full of people. There's more business going on in the hallway than there is practically in the hearing rooms. But the Coastal Caucus is, I think, a unique creature and emerging as a go-to venue for policy development and advocacy as pieces of legislation work their way through the system.
Well, there is power in numbers, and so when you get a diverse group together too, I also think that draws some attention, because then it doesn't look like it's just special interest. It looks like it might actually be more towards serving the general public.
That is absolutely correct, and because we represent such a wide spectrum of political interests, when we can coalesce on an issue, there's some real juice there. One that I call to my, it's a particular favorite of mine, is the fact that we were able to help relocate the NOAA facility, the National Oceanographic and Atmospheric Administration, their fleet from Washington to Oregon. And the Coastal Caucus was behind that. We advocated for a $20 million investment to help it become a reality. But I really believe our advocacy was dispositive, and we now have in Newport what is euphemistically referred to as the Woods Hole of the West. We have yet to attain the level of scientific inquiry that Woods Hole on the East Coast has. But the NOAA fleet there, the Hatfield Marine Sciences Center, OMSI, the Oregon Museum of Science and Industry, is making a huge capital investment in Newport. And I really believe that the Coastal Caucus was catalytic in making that happen.
You know, I just drove through that area in the early part of July, and I was amazed, having not been through for a few years, how that was coming along.
Oh, it
I
is.
was
and
stunned at how that looked.
With the research, with the academics, with the philanthropy, because OMSI's site is on a piece of ground gifted to them by the noted Oregon philanthropist John Gray. I think there's going to be all kinds of interesting things happening there. Experiential learning for kids that will help engage them in the possibility of a career in the marine sciences.
Yes.
But it all goes back again, I think, to the fact that the Coastal Caucus can, at times when it's necessary for us to do so, set aside our regional and our political philosophies and say, this is what's good for Oregon. Only a handful, a subset of the Coastal Caucus had an interest in the site being Newport, but all of us saw the value. And as a result, all put our shoulder to the wheel, and we ended up wooing that very important facility away from the state of Washington.
Any other accomplishments for job creation?
Absolutely. We worked on the Marine Reserve legislation that had started out as very expansive legislation, and through negotiation we were able to winnow that down to something that served Oregon better. We have been responsible for helping to facilitate dredging in Oregon's coastal ports. For some of the South Coast ports, that ability to get maintenance dredging is existential, both for the fleet and for the communities. So we have a number of things that I think we take justifiable pride in saying were Coastal Caucus initiatives.
Oh, Betsy, thank you for explaining these good works to us, and thank you for being here.
Thank you for allowing me the forum to explain this valuable part of Oregon's legislative process.
Well, and good luck to you.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching. This is Charter Local Edition Northwest. I'm Dana Cowley.